Oh, you know what? Because if I do that, and close this, turn off the internet. Hey, what's up? What's up? All right, just so you know what's going on here in a second, I'm gonna start. I thought I was going. I took a look at this for the first time yesterday. Right? I was live on Facebook last night, and I started breaking this down. And since I thought of a few things afterwards that I didn't really catch last night, I thought I'd come and share it with y'all while I put this page together so that you can see exactly what it was for yourselves, okay? Just give me 1 second though, because I want something playing in the background. So give me 1 second while I decide what beat. Turn this down some. But yeah, so we're going to break this down because, one, this is very biblical. I keep telling you guys that these are where the Bible comes from and all the ideologies behind that stuff. And I'm going to show you some things today that are going to help you see that for yourself. Wrong kind of beat. Let me get something that's a little more just nice and pleasant. We want something pleasant. Give me 1 second. Duh, stop calling it Quetzalcoatl. Stop calling it what the fucking Spaniards named it. That has nothing to do with what it is. Okay. All them terms and names and stuff, that has nothing to do with the real thing. Ooh, not that. No disrespect intended. I'm just letting you know that that's not what these are. Okay. These have a lot of meaning to them. And if you're gonna tell me about Quetzalcoatl and all that stuff, I'll allow you to come up and tell the rest of the people about it while I break it down, and then I'm gonna tell you what it really means. That's the best way that I can explain that to you. I just want some beats in the background. Since I make beats, and I get in trouble for having music on everything that's copywritten, so we just use our own. Now, so there's a lot in this, right? There's a lot to digest here. Some things you're gonna miss, and some things you're gonna catch. Right? We're gonna start with the very simple things. Right. I guess the way I'll do this is, I know, because we're going to do it just like I would do any other t-shirt. So we're going to go to the anatomy brushes because that's where we're going to start with. All right, let's see. I know from last night. Actually, here, I'll just explain it to you. Like, check this out, right? This, although it's the face, is a representation of your heart. Give me 1 second. I gotta put it on the brush. Need to make it a little bit bigger. Hold on, what happened to this beat? Hold on 1 second, I gotta see why this beat ain't playing right. Give me 1 second. Oh, everything's missing. All right, here, hold on. And there it is. Hey, what's up, man? Okay, right. Lot to unpack here. A lot of stuff I found in here last night. We'll start with the basics. I want you to notice right here, this represents your blue blood. All right. These are your rivers, your streams. right, you see that there, right? Now look, inside those streams, if you look, there's 2 fish. Now this fish right here is connected to the stream. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you got a second fish right here. Difference is this fish is closed off, whereas the other one's open. All right, so if you notice, one fish is connected to the river and one fish is going through it. So that means it's passing through one, whereas one is passing through it. Okay, that's the difference. It's the 2 differences. Now, right, in Christianity, they tell you that you're supposed to be the fisher. They tell you Jesus was the fisher of men. You see the 2 fish of the man? Now, he wears a crown, but a crown is what? That's your heart. Okay, the crown equals the heart. And we can show you the medical terms later on. Okay. Now, check this out. Notice how you only see one eye here? So we've already started off with what? Let thine eye be single, so that the body's full of what? You see the sun right here? Right? That's how it goes, right? Let thine eye be single, so thy body is full of light, right? Thine eye be single, so then the eye is full of light and the body is full of light. You see how the sun's right there on his chest? Now, that's also, right, the Son of God, right? That would be the sun that has, look, that gives out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lobes, and the 2 fish to the discs that the eye pulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Look. I knew I fucked up somewhere. There's 12. Because here's your 11th. And here's your 12th. Right? So, you got your 12 here. Which represents what? Let's try this. Go up another layer. That's not the one I like. Hold on. Where's the good one at? So, let's see. Give me this. I need you guys to see all this stuff. So we're going to put this here. Give me this. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there. And we're also going to add in this one. Here. By the time you're done with this, you're gonna see everything very easily. This here. Matter of fact, give me this one. We'll keep it we'll keep all these images on the left side. I'm gonna show you how all this shit goes together. Now, Another thing we've seen. Hey, look, I want you to look at something, right? Hey, look. Matter of fact, let's flip that. Bloop. Flip it that way. It's backwards, but whatever. You'll get the point. See the face? This is the nose. That's this section here. The face is the heart, literally. Hey, what's up, Truth? Peace. Yeah, we're going to get things back together. Don't worry. We're getting back on the ball with it. I promise. I promise. I'm getting back into it because I get into that law stuff for too long. I start arguing with people and getting aggravated because, you know, sometimes I'm astounded by people's ignorance. Much more happy with this. Yeah, much more peaceful. Okay. Now, let's see. Oh, we also need, hold on. We need the arteries that come off the heart because that's what your caduceus are. I don't think we're going to have that on this one, though. Give me this right here for that spinal column. Nice to have y'all back too, man. I missed y'all, man. I was telling the people on Facebook last night, I'm like, look, I just don't feel right coming live over here because all my people are on fucking TikTok. It's like I feel like I'm abandoning my friends. Like I need them back in my life. They didn't understand what I was talking about. I'm like, look, you don't know how many people I actually know over there. All right, let's see. We got that. Now we're also going to need the fish, which is the brain. So we need that. Yeah, we'll use this one. That one will make it easier to show you the fish. And what else? We got the heart. Got all the animals of the inner brain, the brain itself. Got the pouring out. Got the sun on the chest. He's carrying the energy. Okay, all right, that should be enough to start with. Let's add another layer. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let me add in one more before I forget. I don't like that skull. Let's add this one in there, but get rid of this. Get rid of this one. Don't mind my beats. They just don't let me use any other kind of stuff, and I like to have some background noise on my videos. Put that there. That's one of the creatures you see. And I think that should be it. I think that should be enough to get us through. Let me just check for a few more things. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's not in there. Where is? Hold on, I need a nice skull to put on there. Give me 1 second while I find it. Oh wait, we got the snakes. I wonder if they got the caduceus in here somewhere. beautiful. I didn't even know I had this. Skull and Bones. I got to remember this section. Let's see if they got the caduceus in here. If you guys get tired of my beat, just tell me and I'll change it to another one. Let's see. Give me this one. That's a pretty dope looking one. Nah, I like this one better. Alright, that's pretty much the majority of it besides the arteries themselves. So let's get, we need the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. We need all those nerve stems and things. I thought I had a diagram of the nerve ends. I'm not seeing it though. Let's check this one. Alright. Let's check the other one. Skull and Bones. Apologies for the wait. I probably should have did this before I started the live. My bad. My bad. I know you're probably getting aggravated with me waiting on me to finish this up, but I gotta have it all there because, you know, I already went over it for the first time last night, so I want to make sure I got everything there to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. You got the jaguar in there. Jaguar. We got, where is it? The owl. And you got the double koi fish. I know it's in here somewhere. Pigeon, phoenix, penguin, pelican, parrot. Definitely got the parrot in there. Let's get the right one. I'll show you all of them in a moment. Just let me. What else is in there? There's a gator in there. And I think that's all the animals in there. Because you got the fish, you got the owl, the skull, the flying fish, little gator down there, the stork right there. Oh, yeah, we gotta add that stork in there. I don't see any of the other ones, right? Aircrow. I already got the crane, stork, same thing. Do we have a stork though? PQRS, squirrel, squid, spider, shark. No stork. Alright, so we'll have to go with the crane. That one. And one more thing so you can see what it represents. Where is it? Check out the snake, see if you get the caduceus in here. Almost, right? See, we're gonna make this all make a whole lot of sense for you. That way nobody can trick you into bullshit anymore. Okay. Alright, I don't see the caduceus. I know I've got those caduceus in here somewhere. Hold on a second. Maybe it's not in the snake one though. Because you see them. Ah, this'll do. And then insert a photo. I need that. Let's go to this one. And give me. Oh wait, no, we'll go to anatomy. Bink. And through anatomy. I need that diagram of the arteries. Not this one. That one. Where is it, man? Maybe it's in here. Sorry, I'm looking for this diagram right here. Matter of fact, just get rid of this one too. Sorry, I know this took a little minute, my bad. But I need you to be able to see everything, so it is what it is. Okay, I think that should be enough. There, go to that. All right, you guys ready for this shit? Sorry about that. I know. I know. It probably seemed like that was taking forever. I apologize. So, I was thinking about some things, right? As we were talking about a lot last night in my other live, right? And I want you to notice some things, right? These 12, hold on, I gotta move this just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And, you know, don't forget to tap the screen and do all that TikTok nonsense. Now, hold on, matter of fact, let me get my screen tapper so that you don't have to, because I just want y'all to sit there in awe and wonder. Hold on, it's around here somewhere. One last thing, and then we'll get moving, okay? Pretty sure. Let's turn this on here. Turn the volume down. My bad. I know. My bad. Last thing, okay? Last thing. I promise this is the last thing. Down there. Alright, there we go. See, I got my little tapper in here. Now we're gonna run up some numbers. Alright, we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so let's get this shit rolling. So check this out. Is there an Ouroboros in there? Couldn't tell you, Lynn. I don't really use all these different kinds of terms that everybody has been given, to be honest with you. Okay. So look. See these 12 right here? Now, once again, you know, we were talking about the 5 lobes and the 2 fish and all that. Let's just get rid of that, leave it like that, okay? So check it out. If you notice right here, look, you notice how one of these is a stream. That's divided. And it goes off of the 3. So I told you this has to deal with your heart. That's why it always goes to the 3 arteries. The 3 arteries are the main 3 that go up to your circle of Willis. The circle of Willis sits here like this. It's like this. It goes up like this. Like this. It's got the body, comes down like this. And then it goes down like this. Okay, that's your circle of Willis. It sits right here on the throne. Okay, it's got little tiny arms that come off it too. All right, that's your man in the crown. Okay. Oh, the serpent swallowing. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Is that on there? I didn't see it anywhere in here. Okay, but what you're thinking of is this right here. Okay. Because this is representing your arteries, all right? That's this part of the heart down here. That's your ascending artery and your pulmonary, okay? One goes like that and crosses behind. And then the other one comes like this, okay? We're just gonna exaggerate it a little bit so you can see it easier, okay? So you have on this side, pulmonary. Okay, pulmonary, Whereas on this side, now the pulmonary goes down, okay, which equals what? Down on the back left. Okay, your ascending is up and to the right, so that's upright. Okay. Down, back, and upright, or up front, right? You got to be up front and upright with people, okay? Oh, thank you. So your caduceus that you see is really just the heart being split into the two, okay? You have the one that goes down and then the one that goes up. That's your caduceus, which this is the first representation of it. This is where it stems from. Get it? Where it stems from? Okay. This is why you have a nerve stem, brain stem, things like that. All right, this is where these terms come from. Now, so this section right here is this section here, okay? That's the bottom part of the heart. Right here. Now, this are the 12. Okay, there's 12 here. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th. Okay? So you have the 12, which is this section here. All right, it's your 12 thoracic. Did I spell that right? I don't think I spelled that right. 12 thoracic vertebrae. Okay, that's this section here. Which is what encases your rib cage. Okay, that's your rib cage. That's this section right here. Okay, that's why you see the ribs. Okay, so you have the 6 main and the floating ribs, right? Now look, check this out. Now, I don't want us getting confused in here, so I gotta change the color of some things so you can see the separation. And please, anybody that thinks that you come from this, don't come in here running your mouth, because when I'm done with this, it's gonna make more sense than anything that you've ever been taught. I promise you. Just hold yourself. Let me get this color, okay? I want you to recognize the difference between the separate things, all right? These are the flows, okay? Now that flow is connected to the arteries. These are the arteries that come off of the heart, okay? That's what those are. And this flow, if you notice, it's coming down from the head. See where it comes from? And there's 1, 2, 3, right? Because it splits here. All right, so it's the 3. Now, what are the 3? Well, in your spinal column, you have 2 on the outside and 1 that runs through the middle. Those are your 3. Okay. Now, those 3 come from your circle of Willis, which is this guy, the face of the God right here on the throne. See, you see all the teeth right here? Okay. So look, let's put it all together real quick. Now I need you to notice a couple key things here. This fish right here is connected to the flow, right? See the 1, 2, 3, 4 for your different lobes. Okay. Now notice how this fin is closed, but yet this fin is open. It goes into the flow of it because it's passing through it. Right? These ones, however, are the flow that's pouring down. Because if you notice, matter of fact, we should color the fish different, huh? All right, hold on. Let's do it like this. Try to make this as easy for you guys to see as possible. Can we color it? Yeah, there we go. I should have thought of this before. Because now we can just color it in a little bit without actually removing the picture. Man, I should have thought of this before. All right, look, we're good now, okay? Now you can actually see. And look, you notice how, but you know, just so for the details and stuff, zoom it in and bring it out. Now, if you notice, there's 3 back here, the 3 main ones. It always comes down to those bottom 3. Is what's coming out of it. Now let's give a little life to the fish. Okay. Give a little life to this fish. Now, if you notice, right, there's something different about this one, which is that this fish, instead of it, okay, the difference between the 2 fish is that this fish is allowing it to flow through it. Right, it never closes the tail, so that's letting you know that it's passing through it. And if you notice, it's coming up to the eye of the skull. Right. See, it's coming up to it with the mouth open. That means that it's telling it something. It's speaking to it. Okay. So you got the one fish that's speaking to it, whereas you have the other fish that's eating from it. Okay, so here's your 2 fish. Now remember, don't start doing that crazy shit with me. All right, remember, right? It was Jesus that had the 5 lobes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he did what? He passed down the 5 lobes and the 2 fish to the disciples. Right? The discs that the eye pulls, right? That's what these are. These are your discs that the eye pulls, which go to the 12 tribes, right? The ribs. You see? Hold on a second. I gotta figure out why my little tapper thing ain't working. Oh, there it goes. Whatever. Okay, now check this out, right? Now, if you notice, I want you to check this out, because all of these do the same things. Matter of fact, we should make the ones, we'll keep them blue. One, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, right? Because remember, it's the 5 and the 2. You get it? Now look, you have the 2 fish right here, but they're crossing each other. And there's a river that comes behind them. That's being consumed by the bird. Notice how the bird has 4 teeth. Okay, it's consuming the river. So it's the flow that's coming off of it. Now, what would the bird be that consumes the river? And notice how even though it's consuming the river, it's the food for the other one. You see that? See how what it's consuming is the one. Why is it 2 fish that it's consuming? Because that's your left and right hemisphere. This is your fish. Now here, let me give you the side. The side view is always better. See, look. See how the fish is curved this way? Goes around this way. And here's the tail of it. Okay, that's your fish. This is the tail of the fish, is where your cerebellum is. Your cerebellum has all of the little scales like the fish tail. Okay, that's your fish. That's why there's 2 fish. Is the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. Okay, so you have the 2 fish here that are crossing each other because it's the fight between logic versus emotion. Okay? So the face itself notice how it's got the 1, 2, and the 3 coming off of it. Notice how in your heart there's that, and goes up to the 1, 2, and the 3. The face is the heart. Let me back it out a little bit. Okay? Because your heart is the thing that determines the way that you view things. It's your intentions. Your intent, your desires, your wants and things. So, too big. If you notice, right? Here's out. So, this is now a chamber. No, bro, stop. Here, let me help you go. Let me help you. Block. Well, I don't care what you believe. I don't need to know what you believe about this. I don't care what they lied to you and taught you. All these things are very basic. Lee, the game's already over, Lee. Why you think you see them panicking so much? They're taking their fucking walk of shame right now. Why you think they're doing so much right now? They already lost. They're on the walk of shame right now. That's why they're trying to take everything with them that they can. You get me? Don't think that shit's continuing. It's already shut down. All right, so check this out, right? All right, so you see this is coming down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, right? Because it's all about them 5 lobes and the 2 fish. But if you notice, those 5 are connected to the 3. The 1, the 2, and the 3. Because, you know, the arteries come down from your circle of Willis, which has these 3 that go down from the brain to the heart. Yeah, they're all on the run, bro. But I'd rather not even focus on them. I don't want to give them more power than they've already taken by people's attentions and things, right? So check this out, right? So we have established, in fact, that this is dealing with the heart, because you have the vertebrae here, you have the representation of the mind here, and you have the sun where the chest is. So, you know, let thine eye be single, so thy body be full of light, right? So if this is dealing with the heart, and we know that this is the energy that's being exchanged from the heart, that means that this is also part of the heart, which is where you get the term wearing your heart on your sleeve. That's this right here. Okay? So what he's actually doing here is pouring his heart out. Notice how you have the fish here, but it's not complete. It ties into everything, right? It's tied into the flow, and that flow deals with the 2. What's the 2? The left and the right. Your left and right hemisphere. Notice how what's pouring out it looks like water, but it also kind of has the shape of a serpent. Right? You see where they were getting all these ideas from? This is literally your Bibles in physical form. All right, I pour out my water, my rivers in the desert. Where's the heart? The heart is this piece right here. But this is also the heart. Okay, this is the heart's intent, which is what alters the way that your mind perceives the things that you pour throughout your body. Okay, so you can have man in your heart, or you can have a monster in your heart. You get what I'm saying? Like, your heart can be either way. That's why when you're pouring your heart out, it's right here by the leopard. Okay, it's the leopard that's tied to it, that binds it all together, because you can be, and look, let's prove this even further. If you notice, the leopard's tied to the 3. 1 goes into it, 2, and the 3rd. All right, you're going back into those arteries again. Now, the thing is that you can be led forward or you can be pulled backward by the intentions that are in your heart. Right? Notice how over here in the light, he's pouring his heart out in the light, but you can be led back into the darkness if you allow yourself to be corrupted by the things that are in your heart rather than growing from them. Right? You want that right angle. You want the right chest. You get what I'm saying? You want the light to be the foundation of the way that you are uplifting yourself. Well, this is the soul. This is all internal. None of this is external. That's what they want you to think, is, oh, they were worshiping gods and fucking, they had all these demons and monsters and no, this is all internal. All of this is internal. This is the function of the mind and the heart. Okay? So, all right, if you notice right here, you'll notice there's faces up here. All right. Now notice how this one has a little hand that's going to the circle, which is this circle from here. All right. It's passing and being divided. Okay. But it's also here. And if you follow it, it's leading you back to the 3 that's connected to the heart. That's being, see, his head is resting on it, right? Because it's the foundation of your thoughts, is what's in your heart, right? So if your heart is bright and it's actually, you know, kind and giving, you know, it's going to be something that's growing you. This is where you get your ideas of brain stems and trees of life and trees of knowledge and all these type of things. Right? There's a lot of philosophy involved in this. Now, if you notice, right, when you wear your heart on your sleeve, that leads you to doing what? Being vulnerable, which makes you ferocious if it's not received well. You get me? It can make you ferocious. That's the thing about these wild animals, is that they can be ferocious or they can be tamed. Right? It can be something that terrifies you, or it can be something that you see as beautiful and that's amazing to you. It all depends on who you are and how you view these things. You get me? So, you know, you got to be careful who you're pouring your heart out to, because some people will take that and run with it. You yourself can get stuck chasing the past. Notice how it's behind them. See, you have past, you have present, and then you have future. See, the future is what's created. That's this up here. That's created out of the ways that you view things. Okay? So, when you're dealing with these, right? If you notice, there's 2 creatures here that make up this mouth. There's a gator here, and there's the bird here. Anybody recognize that bird? You've seen him before. All right, but it all completes. Both pieces create the same. No, there's no elephant, because there's no elephants in America. So, this right here, if you recognize this section, is actually this right here. That section right there is this right here. That's why it layers up like this. Okay? Yeah, the hippocampus. Exactly. See, some of y'all know some medical stuff. I like that. I'm glad that y'all have some medical fucking studying, okay? So, now this same piece here is the same one as you see up here. Okay? That's why it's what comes out of it. See the feathers coming off of it? Okay, the feathers are what the fish is eating off of, because the fish is left in the right brain. Now, this is the information that's passing through the waters, whereas this is the one that the waters are feeding it to, right? And notice how each fish has 1, 2, 3, 4 on it. Why? Because your frontal, occipital, limbatic, and perennial lobes, right, they control the functions of the body. So the reason that it doesn't have, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You see how it doesn't have the 5th one? Why? Because the 5th part of that is your cerebellum. which is the emotional response that gives the reaction of the 4 lobes that's distributed through the body. So the fish only carry the 4 parts because before it gets here, and if you notice, it's eating off of what? Lobes. The lobe and the lobe. That's your 5th. Okay, that's your cerebellum. So the fish are either bringing it to it, right? That's why he's speaking outside of it, is because it's feeding it to it. This one is feeding off of it. Okay, so this is the emotion that is being created versus the emotion that's being delivered. So one passes through the system, whereas the other one brings it to it. Now this one is tied to the nerve stems, the 3, right? Okay, so the 3 of them are attached to this fish right here. So that's the 3 that are going in. This is the ones that's going out. Now the one that's going out is connected to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. You get it? Because it's the distribution of the 5 being given to what? You see that? Sorry, I had to do the puzzle piece. Oh, look, it's easy to see. Truth. It's easy to see once you know what you're actually looking for. Okay? That's why we have these. That's why we make these things. So, yeah, it's given to your lower self. So you have the waters above, right? You have the birds of the heavens, the beasts of the field, which would be your jaguars and your gators, right? Now, you have now I want to look at this because I wasn't able to see what this was exactly last night. Okay, so you got the one that's connecting here, the 2 and 3, because for some reason when I zoomed in on it last night, I wasn't able to get it to come up as large as I wanted to. You have the 2 that are bound together right there like that. Okay. Now this is a gator right here, even though it's a hand. Right? Because what consumes you? What are you consumed by? You got to think about this for a minute. Right? So, a lot going on in here, right? It's a lot more than what most people would think that it was, right? Especially if you listen to the people that think that they come from this, all they're going to tell you is about some kind of godly character, but that's because they're still corrupted by the ideas of everything being external. This is something internal. That's how you know they don't know. You get me? This is my ancestors' shit, not theirs. No offense to anybody that, thinks that you're Mayan or Mexican. That's the reason they don't know what these things truly are. They can't explain to you none of this at all whatsoever. Ask them. They'll come and yell at me about it too. Tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I literally know all of it. Okay? And this gets very, very complex very quickly. Look, you see how he's chasing after the 5 lobes right here, which are tied to your heart, right? So it's what's pulling on your heartstrings. You get me? These are the things that you chase from your past that lead into how your emotions react to the things that you're giving to the world. All right? Because all this is a process. You see the skull in here that's being affected by the bird. See how he's eating off of it, off of the teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is it off of the 7? These are your 7. Okay? These are the 7 that are going into the brain. So that's why you see the skull with the 7 teeth that's coming through the mouth of it, okay? Because it's passing through it. Now, if you notice right under the eye, it leads out to the stream. Now, it's hard to see, but there's a fish here. Okay? But there's also a foot. Why would there be a foot here? Because it's the foundation. You get me? It's the foundation of the thoughts and the intentions that are being distributed through the mind that are determined by whether you're negative or positive, right? You have one that's solid, that's positive. You have one that's open, so that's negative. So you're negative and you're positive. Your left brain, your right brain, you're good, you're bad, your heart and your mind. Right? It's all about notice how this one takes you into the darkness and this one brings you out to the light. You get it? No, Pisces the fish does not represent your feet. You're mistranslating that. Because the fish is the mind. It's the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. Okay? Which technically, why they say it represents, you want to know why they tell you why it represents the feet? Because that's the foundation of your thoughts. It doesn't represent the physical feet. Okay? These are misinterpretations. You have to look at the things for what they don't say, is the best way for me to explain that to you. You get me? They're telling you without telling you. Those that have the eyes to see will see. Hello, Angela. You know what? I'm gonna let you run with whatever's on your heart. Whatever you conform to, that's on you. Now, if you look, right? I want you to notice something. Notice how the hand has the 1, 2, 3, 4 on it, that's the 4 parts of the brain, but it's carrying with it. Notice how it comes through the energy. Right? Notice how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because it's the 4 that make up the 1, which is the energy that's being given, it's being carried, right? Now notice how it's going down back on the left side. Kind of like how your pulmonary goes down back on the left side. And look, you see it's being distributed through the arteries. You see, look, I want you to notice something. The water that's pouring out, going through the 3 arteries, becomes these 3. Notice how on the top ones it doesn't have them, but on the bottom ones, there's a little representation of it. See, it's showing you that it's passing through it. Here, look. Hey, Angela, I'm gonna mute you if you keep giving that shit to the people that are in here learning this with me, okay? Like, because, you know, like I apologize, but y'all should really just chill out for a minute and just learn. 1, 2, 3. You see how that makes the shape of the heart right there? Yeah, it's your blood cells. Exactly. We're creating something here. Okay, this is showing a process. Notice how it's always the 3. Why? Because, look, this is what you carry within you. And the thing is that you can be led to the darkness or you can be led to the light. Right? The light pours directly from the heart. Whereas the darkness is because of the things that are affecting the heart. The things that affect the heart come from the mind, and your interpretation is what alters the way that pours out. So you have to really take into thought the things of your past are what create your future and your present. Right? Because it's these feelings that you can get stuck chasing that are going to keep you in the dark, right? Always trying to bring your past with you into the present, always trying to bring somebody up that is constantly trying to bring you down. You get what I'm saying to you? These are the things that you're bound to. You see the links? Okay, this is what binds you. This is what makes it so that you find out who you really are. Because we always get into a position where we're stuck chasing the things that we can't seem to let go of. Right? You have the spirit that either strengthens or weakens you. Right? Because it can uplift or it can bring down. But it all is determined by the heart. What kind of energy is within you, right? So this would be your what? Your armor of God. Don't they tell you that you should have the Son of God in your heart? Right? That's why you wear your heart on your sleeve, is because when everything that you give is what? Is something that is going to leave you into a vulnerable position. You walk up on a leopard, that shit is vulnerable. You don't know whether it's going to attack or whether it's going to come up and try to fucking lick you. You know, most of the times it's going to attack you. Why? Because, just because you're giving it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to receive in return. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot here. Let's break these down a little more. Bing. Bing, bing, bing. You got the 4 right there, the 3 below it. Remember here, you got your little rabbit. Because you're creating something new out of the 2. So what you're looking at, if you notice, there's 2 faces in there. One goes to the left and one goes to the right. All right, left brain, right brain. your good intentions, your bad intentions, your emotional responses, right? That's what fuels it. If you notice, there's two separate things going on here. Notice how the one that's being fed by it, it's a continuous loop. Who was asking me about Ouroboros? This is similar to that right here. See the little face in there, right? Because why would it be a face that's attached to the fish, the two fish? Because that's the new energy that's being created from it. That's why it's in the cycle. Because it's already received it here. This is where it's being given to you. And that is on top of what it's running through, which makes this so that you have the two fish. Once again, it's still the two fish, right? But one is giving it, whereas one becomes the foundation. Now, if you notice, this one's once again tied to the 1, the 2, and the 3 that have the split. Okay? So, these 5, these 4 right here, these are the 4 lobes that are affected by the cerebellum. These are the arteries that it ties to, and this is it pouring out from those 4, which is based off of, right? Notice how it's above it. It's based off of the things of the past, because those things of the past are what guides your heart. That's what makes up the things that you bring in. Okay? So, it's from that you're bound to your pride. You get me? The cats represent the ferocity of the flow of your blood. Okay? That's what that is, because this is based off pride. Big cats travel in prides. Yeah, the ego, exactly. And see, that's the thing that determines what it is that you pour out to people. So, this, my friends, is the Bible before it was translated and put into writing. These are the pictures that they put the spells on to give you scriptures. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call it mysticism, because what it really is just, this is biology and psychology. You get me? It's not mysticism. These things directly represent the different type of the spirit of each organ. Let's say it like that. It's the spirit of each organ, the intentions and the activation and the way that these things operate. You get me? So when you're looking at things like this, if you know the foundation of it, then you'll actually be able to get messages from it. The Word of God is written in something that all can understand. All right, think about that for a minute. This is the only place where all you have to learn, what do they tell you in the Bible? The birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field are there for your what? Your knowledge. The owl that's on the edge, right? So, because these are owls. That's what this bird is up here. It's the owl, okay? Now, so the thing is if you understand nature and you understand what these different animals do in nature, you'll be able to recognize what they're showing you in the ancient texts. But only through knowing your creator, which is by having love for all of the creator's creations, which gives you the ability to you analyze them and learn them, gives you the ability to see the messages that are left behind. Each message is different for the person that views it. Well, yeah. Don't you see him following the sun? You see how the sun has its own face? So, aren't you led by your heart? And if you're, let thine eye be single so thy body is full of light. This is the body being filled with light by wearing your heart on your sleeve. Because you want to be seen for who you are, not who they tell you that you are. So I just wanted to dive into this one because I looked at it for the first time yesterday and I was like, oh, I really like this one. This one has everything in it. Because look, you see how you're creating your living waters? Right? These are living waters that are pouring out. They're moving. They're going from down and up and all over the place. You get me? This is where all of it comes from. That's why they don't want you knowing what these things mean, because if you actually knew what all of these things meant and you went and saw the descriptions that were on those temples, you'd be like, hold on a second. Because I've never read the Bible, but I could tell you a whole bunch of biblical shit just through this. And everything that I tell you through this will reflect something that you've read in the Bible. It's impossible not to, because it came from this. So I'll tell you what I see in this, and if you've read the Bible, it'll sound familiar to you. Right? Don't they tell you in the Bible that when you take on the spirit of the Creator, it's what gives you your backbone? It'll hold you what? Up, right? See how it's up and on the right side? See how he's holding it up? Hey, look. Bible scriptures, right? Let's see. What's the one? Can the blackamoor change his skin, or the leopard its spots, so that ye might also do good that do evil? Let's see. There's let thine eye be single, so thy body be full of light. There's, the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field. That's the obvious one. I pour out my rivers in the wilderness. The beasts of the field shall honor me. The dragon and the owl. The dragon and the owl. Bitch, don't ever call me boy. Let me get rid of you. Get your dumb ass out of here. Hey, look, I'm real good at reflecting that shit right back to you. I love you enough to set you free. If you think that what I'm doing is giving you something that's false, feel free to see your way out. I don't want to stress you out. I love you enough not to trap you in my mind. I can only give you my heart, right? I can only pour my heart out to those that are going to receive it. You notice how I told you, right? What's the danger of pouring your heart out to the wrong ones, right? You never know how they're going to react. You can get bit, or you can have them come and feed with you. You get what I'm saying? Don't ever think that you have to go chasing after people, right? You see how he's chasing after the ones that are corrupted? Don't cast your pearls. You mean these pearls? Right? You see the necklace of pearls? What is it? What else does it say in the Bible? Jesus had 5 loaves and 2 fish. That were passed on. Right? You see how it's getting passed on, right? To the what? The eye that pulls the discs. Oh, the disciples. The discs that the eye pulls. What's the eye? The eye is the heart. It's not your pineal gland. You don't see with your pineal gland, right? This is something that a lot of people are confused with. They're like, "Oh, your pineal gland is your third eye." No. Where's your first one? Your first one's your heart. Your heart is what determines how you see things. That's your first set of eyes. Your first set of eyes is your heart, because your heart is the thing that determines how you receive everything that you view, right? It goes in through the eyes, but it's your heart. That's why if your body's right, that let thine eye be single, so thy body be full of light, and if the eye be dark, then the body be full of darkness, right? Because if your heart is dark, then everything is going to reflect that. If your heart is light, everything is going to reflect that. Right? Your eyes are just the windows. They just allow things to pass through them. What passes through them is then determined by the heart, the way that you're going to feel off of it, which then feeds it to your cerebellum, which is the thing that, all right, that's it being fed to the cerebellum right there. That's the cup right there for your cerebellum. Your cerebellum is the cup. If you ever look at the Egyptian stuff, that cup that you always see, that's your cerebellum. That's the emotional response to what's in your heart. See, what's in your heart determines the emotional response that you're going to have. Right? So you'll have 2 options of the type of emotions. You can have a good emotion to something, a bad emotion to something. Your heart is going to determine it, which is going to change the course of it. See how it goes in? See how he's eating it? Right? He's got that fish's thing right there in his mouth. Right? It's going right into the eye, which is what is changing the trajectory. Right? Notice how you got one fish that's crossing the other fish. There's 2 fish there, but both are bound to the river that's coming out of the mouth of the one that it's feeding off of, because it changes it based on what's in your heart. You get me? So these are some of the realest things that you're ever going to find. It's unavoidable. Right? You have your knowledge. Your frequency. Your vibration. This represents the heart itself. It should be a crane, but I mean, not a crane, a swan. But I didn't see a swan on the list, so we used the crane instead. Okay. And then you have what you consume. Now, the funny thing about them using the reptiles for your lower organs and things is like, what's the similarity between the reptile and the lower organs? Reptiles what? Absorb light. That's how they survive. They sunbathe, right? So don't your guts, right? Because there it is right there. That underlying thing that determines everything. That's why it's always there at the base of it, right? You got the bird on top of it. And it creates a whole face, but it's two separate entities. The bird for the wisdom, and then you have the gator for the gut, because your gut is what absorbs the light. It consumes you. It's what consumes you, right? So you have the heart, the frequency, the knowledge, the vibration, the consumption. Now, because it's masculine, right? It's man, so this is physical. It's the physical. Sorry, I keep forgetting how they try to teach you to spell this stuff. This is the physical representation of the transference of the energy. Right? It's what the heart carries. If it were a female, it would be showing you the transferring process. Right? This is how the physical world reacts to all of the energetic exchanges within you. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Feel me? So, when it comes to these things, remember that the ones that are possessed are always going to see, all they're going to be able to focus on is what's behind you. And they're going to call these demons fallen angels. Right? See how he's fallen? Right? See how he's down at the bottom, right? Being carried by it, being dragged by it. Okay? These are the things that are going to hold you back. But this is also a regulatory process. Okay? Because anything that can hold you back can be converted into something that grows you. No, it's not Mayan. There's no such thing as Mayans. That's a made up fucking group of people. That's what the Spanish conquistadors came in here creating. Was Mayans. You know why? Because they wanted you to think that it was Mayan. It was mine. But it's not yours. Well, no, I'm not gonna argue with you whether you're indigenous to this land or not. I'm not gonna get into that debate. Because that's a whole argument that, relies on history and all kinds of things, okay? But, depending on who your people are, right? Technically, some of you are from here, but only because there was integration to the original bloodlines. But they didn't give you guys the knowledge behind these works. Instead, they gave you gods and goddesses. That's how we know who knows these and who doesn't. You get me? Like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, but if you come in here with names like Quetzalcoatl and all these entities that were given to unrighteous people, right? Because it's all about that right chest and that right angle, right? You got to realize that there were things that were given to people that came over here that were unrighteous, that they gave the idea of gods and goddesses to in order to subdue the spirit that was within them. Because the spirit that was within them was a spirit of destruction. And the only thing that they could do to slow that down was give them stories of gods and things to subdue the thoughts of them doing the things that they came here to bring. So they didn't get the wisdom behind these things. They were given the analogies that would, try to change their heart, because they came here with conquering and with suffering and stressing people out and enslaving people inside of them. And so they were given something that would subdue them from having those type of intentions, because they didn't know these things before they came here. You get me? So they had to be given something to stop them, but they couldn't be given the real science behind it, because what happens when you feed somebody, when you teach somebody how to feed their energy and what's in them is something that's a negative, what are you going to be feeding? You're going to be feeding that negativity. So instead you give them something that's going to restrict them from feeling like they have the right to do the things that they're doing. Why? Because you're trying to preserve the people. You get me? You're trying to show them something that in itself will uplift them. You get me? So there's a lot of things that were hidden from the people that came to this nation. That's why they were given names and titles and things on these that don't equal up to anything but the stories. The stories that they give you will equal up to the things that I teach you. But it's not going to give them everything that is taught, because it's only reserved for the ones that come from it. So that, because the things that are being taught are the things that build nations, build civilizations. Everything that you've been given has been destructive to civilization and nations. You get what I'm saying? The word will be translated through one people to the next by unrighteous dealings and injuries that were gotten by deceit. Right? Because you couldn't, my people will perish for lack of knowledge, for they reject knowledge. Well, I mean, what did they teach you about these systems? They taught you about these systems. Oh, these were different gods, and these are demons that were within them, and they carry all of these little monsters, and they worship all of these different spirits. And no, these are the spirits of the things that are working within you. The problem is if you teach people the very sacred things of this, you can build a nation off of this. It'll provide peace and serenity to the people involved in it. That's why when you came here, everything was free. Right? This was a free nation when people came here. Everybody lived in peace. Everybody shared everything equally. Everybody had great advancements, great science, great astrology, great knowledge of how the world worked and how everybody was connected, right? Everybody had all this wisdom when they came here, and they destroyed all of it and exchanged all of that for a God system that divided the people. Bro, this is your Jesus right here. Literally. This is Jesus passing the 5 loaves and the 2 fish on to his disciples. This is Jesus being the Son of the Creator. This is going out of the darkness into the light. This is right chest. All right, see how it goes to the chest? It's righteousness. You get me? This is where it comes from. This is where it stems from. This is where your living waters reside, your blue blood, where you learn the word, the knowledge, the frequency, and the consumption the vibration of love. No, this is absolutely not a guess. Because I understand the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field. That's what makes it so apparent. Right? This is where you get stories of your dragons from. Right? I pour out my waters in the wilderness. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls. This is all scripture right here. But it's all science. That is true. That is true. That will always be true, Kai. As long as they refuse to learn, it's always going to seem strange to them, or like worshipping and all that other nonsense. You get me? It'll always be foreign, alien to those that don't know how to see it. But as far as it being speculation, no, not speculation, my friend. I know how to read all these things. It doesn't matter which side of the world that you want to go to. I can break down all the symbolism. I already do it on a regular basis so that I can make it so that you have the ability to see it. Right? This is going to be on a t-shirt soon. Once I'm done breaking down all the symbols in here. Well, I'm glad that you've been here, man. I love it when people come to get more and more fucking knowledge on this stuff, like, because it's really amazing stuff when you start getting into it. Like, it really is beautiful. Hey, what up, Liz? Nah. Hey, look. Hey, Kai, I'm gonna tell you like this. No, he doesn't. He's got y'all looking at things that don't exist because of the fact that he came and learned from me and can't keep up with me because he didn't even study the curriculum that I gave him to teach him how to read the shit. He has to try to discredit me in order to make his shit seem valid. That's why he blocks my accounts but stalks me from fucking hidden accounts. That's why he started claiming to be the son of the sun. That man, look, let me show you something, right? He claimed to be the son of the sun till he found out that I returned back to TikTok. Look, let me show you something. look, he can't stand me because I can debunk everything that he tries to tell you. That's why you have to squint and look all crazy at the stuff in order to be able to see it. All right? Think about that for a second. He doesn't show you anything that you can actually see. You have to fucking make yourself see that shit. And if you can't see it, he tells you that you're fucking fake and kicks you out and bans you and all that shit. right or wrong. Think about that for a second. How many people, haven't you noticed that all of his content has basically turned into just him arguing with people and trying to convince everybody that so-called white people are evil and shit? Think about that, bro. All he does is live off of negativity. Look, let me show you something, right? He claims to be the son of the sun now. Ever since I disappeared, he started claiming to be the son of the sun. But what's that say on my book? Yeah, Earth speaks. Why you think his shit died out? Right? He's sitting there claiming to be the blood of Ramses, but I can show you my family tree that proves that I come from the things that I claim. Right? He can't show you that. He doesn't know, he can't trace it and show you. I can show you my shit all the way into the early 1800s and all the locations of my family being in the Trail of Tears, and all of the land that's owed to my great grandfather is right here where all the pyramids are. You get me? And you know, I've been letting him slide for like almost a year and a half. Motherfucking just running his mouth about me and fucking trying to convince people that I'm a drug addict and all kinds of shit, just to make sure that they didn't come and listen to me. Because once you see the things that I show you, you're gonna go and go back to his page and look at the shit where he's telling you to look. I'll show you something about them Sumerian texts that he can't. Look, let's go like this. Because I'm the one that taught him to turn those sideways in the first place, but he still does it wrong. Okay, yeah, everything he does is based off fear-mongering and anger and hatred and shit. Meanwhile, he tells you, don't listen to fucking the Book of Johnson. He's a white boy. Bitch, I'm mixed just like him. We're both mixed. The only thing is he denies it outright, and I tell you, I don't give a fuck, because I know what I come from. You get me? That doesn't change my bloodline that's from this country. My bloodline from this country goes all the way back to the 1800s, to the beginning of it. I got people in my family on my family tree from the 1820s, from the beginning of the census records. You get what I'm saying? There should be no problem with having mixed blood. Why do you think I tell you I'm the Lord of Two Lands? That's the title of Tut. The son of the sun, the Lord of the Two Lands. I'm literally a king by blood, by heir. That's why my family owns the land where the pyramids are at. That's our shit. That's why my family's carved on the fucking stones in this country. Look. That's my family this is my family from this nation. My father, my great-great-grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt. Notice how we're literally carved in stone and carved in tablets. Not something where I have to show you a blank spot where somebody chipped out pieces and tell you that that's me hidden in there wearing glasses and shit like that. None of that shit. Easy to see. Plain to see. Not something that you have to go digging for. My great-great-grandfather, the sheriff of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, my great-great-grandfather is the president of the Bank of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and his son was the sheriff of Tulsa, Oklahoma that started the railroads. We own 289 land deeds in all of the areas of the Trail of Tears where all of the pyramids are on this map. You get me? So I don't have to claim that, oh, I'm the blood of Ramses, and you know that's why they want to study me, and you should follow me because of that, because I'm the no. I can show you through my family tree who the fuck I am. I don't have to claim some stuff from a genetic test that he tells you is fake when it comes to the Native Americans. Right, think about that for a second. He'll sit there and tell you that the Native American, oh, you guys can't say that you're from here because your genealogy and your blood tests and shit. But then in the same time, he'll turn around and tell you that, oh, I'm the blood of Ramses and they want to study my blood and I'm special and da 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 da. Meanwhile, his family don't own shit. You get me? They don't own shit. My family literally has the land in this area where all the pyramids are, is where my great-great-grandfather owns the deeds to the land. And this is just focused on these sections. There's 580 land deeds in my great-great-grandfather's name. These 289 are just in the area of the Trail of Tears. Yeah, everywhere that you see fucking forests is where the pyramids are hidden. We don't call them black, okay? We're not going to call that side of my family black, and we're not going to call my mom's side white. You understand? That's colonization. We don't believe in division. My ancestors did not see color like that because dark-skinned people produce all colors. So it would be foolish to separate people by color, because then you would have to separate yourself from your own family members, which doesn't make sense. Because you can get blonde hair, you can get red hair, you can get blue eyes, you can get green eyes, you can get brown eyes, you can get brown skin, you can get dark brown skin, light brown skin. You can get all of that from melanated people. My ancestors did not operate like that. That's why everybody was welcomed here. I'm not going to change and disrespect my ancestors by creating division when that's not what was in their heart. Why would that be in mine? Where does division make it so that we can be successful and grow? You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get it mistaken by me discussing people's ancestry and discussing the genealogy, discussing the blood, discussing people's origins, how they got here, and they mistake that for me having hatred towards people that integrated into this. But my mother comes from one of those people that integrated into this. So why would I be mad at others for coming here? Now, everybody's been tricked into warring against each other, which is a shame, but we can fix that with time. But you're not going to fix that by creating more division. You're going to fix that by showing people the way, what's in your heart, by showing people compassion, love, kindness, and growth and prosperity. And that can only be the way that you restore things here, because that's what made everybody around the world want to come here in the first place, was because this is the only place that wasn't war-torn. This is the only place where people actually loved everybody. This is the only place where people were actually welcome, no matter what you look like. Everywhere else in the world is divided. That's what makes this place so special and so unique, was when they came here, there were people of all different colors. Everybody was always welcome here. That's how my ancestors were. That's what made people want to come here. That's what made us have those great societies and those beautiful buildings, and why everybody shared everything openly and free, why we were able to have free energy and great fucking devices. That was because of the unity that they found when they came here. Why would I disrespect my ancestors by hanging on to the things that happened after people came here instead of representing them the same way that they were? You can get, look, we can go right back to it. What were we just talking about? What were we just talking about? You can get lost chasing those broken feelings, right? And all that ever does is drag you back, right? Because if you get dragged into the past and all that you can see is a whole bunch of negative shit, that's going to reflect in the way that you present yourself. Now, when you pour out your heart, you're not pouring out love. You're going to pour out some anger. You're going to pour out some frustration, and you're going to divide the people even further. How are you going to deny your own family? If that man, look, just think about it like this. If he won't even talk to you about his mother because he's embarrassed that his mother is fucking European, isn't he already being deceitful in everything that he does in the first place? How are you going to disregard your own family and disrespect your own family and try to tell people that you're trying to bring people together? So your so when you put your nation together, you going to boot your own mother out? That's how you gonna handle it? Oh yeah. He sounds just like Al Sharpton and motherfucking what's his name? The dude that's always preaching. What's his name? The one guy that's always preaching to everybody that leads like the Black Coalition and all that shit with a white mother. You know, that's you know, he's got hatred for himself. So how can he possibly teach you peace? Think about that for a minute. Just think about that. How can you hate yourself and then try to bring other people together? You can't even get aligned with your own self. You don't even love your own self. Think about that shit, man. Y'all got to be careful who it is that you allow to teach you things, because everybody doesn't have fucking you know, they don't have light in their heart. You know, everybody's not light. Everybody's not righteous. Some people stay in the dark. You get me? Some people choose to remain in the dark. And so what do they feed you? Content that feeds into your fears, content that feeds into your anger, content that feeds into division, content that feeds into we're great and you're pieces of shit, content that everybody's been a piece of shit at some point in their life. You gonna tell me that you've lived a perfect life, you've never hurt nobody, you've never lied to nobody, you've never broken something to somebody else's, you've never disrespected, you've never said a fucked up thing to anybody, you're perfect? You can't forgive others for the things, right? Forgive them for they know not what they do. Right? Just because I go hard on the people of the church doesn't mean that I fucking hate them. No, I forgive them. They've been taught ignorance. They can't help the way that they approach me with things. They can't help the things that they've conformed to, what they're possessed by. But what they're possessed by comes out every time I bring these things up. Right? Do I shame them for it? No, I try to explain it to them, and if they can't take it, I get rid of them. Hey, look, get out the way. Stick with what works for you. Exactly, Rico. Nobody's been perfect. So how can you judge somebody else's actions? You've taken actions that were similar at some point in your life. TG, I'll put it to you like this. He learned to look at symbols from me, but don't ever compare what I teach you in symbolism to the things that he claims. If you notice, he doesn't claim anything that you can actually see. All he does is have delusions of grandeur where he tries to convince you that it's all about him. I don't do that. I teach you that it's all about you. You get me? There's a big difference between what he's doing versus what I'm doing. If anything, he's the counter. He's the counterbalance. I bring you love, prosperity, and unity. He brings you division, segregation, and anger. You know, he's not right with himself. He doesn't accept himself. Oh, so all he does is attack people and try to prove Bro, look, let me ask you something. If he tries to convince you that white people are lizards, which he does, he tries to, he had his followers convinced that white people were lizards. So doesn't that make him half a lizard himself? His mom's white, just like my mom's white. So isn't he claiming that he's half a lizard himself? Are you sure you want to listen to somebody that claims to be a fucking reptilian that doesn't understand that everybody is? You don't notice all the scales on your skin? Weren't you born in water? Don't you have to go out and sunbathe in order to receive free energy? Isn't that what a reptile does? See, that's what happens when you listen to people that don't know the symbols and don't know what these stories came from. You get me? People that carry around anger and fucking ignorance inside of them, that's all they're going to be able to give to you. That's why everything that he does, he uses all the symbols for a tool of division rather than a tool of unison, which is what this is all about, is the one. Everything's connected. You notice how everything is bound together? Whether it's animal or man, whether it's good or bad, whether it's something that's strong or something that's weak, it doesn't matter. It's all connected. You get what I'm saying to you? Oh, the ancient ways are nothing but love. Why do you think we had these beautiful fucking societies, bro? Look, what did they tell you was the conduct of the people when they came here? Nobody had any idea of possession. Everybody shared everything equally. The king was chosen by the people, like literally by the people. You get what I'm saying? Like this was not, and they were chosen by the people because they knew how to lead in a way that was productive. Wasn't everybody welcomed with open arms? Right? Don't ever think that just because they found love here, that those people were weak, because love is the strongest thing that you can have. That illuminates you. That gives you power. That gives you the strength of the Creator. That gives you the backbone of the... You get me? These are the things that we need to return to society now. These are the things that are going to restore the peace. These are the things that are going to grow the people. These are the things that are going to bring everybody together. Bro, you don't have stories of sacrifice. You have stories of sacrifice because you're getting that from the people that do sacrifices. All the stories that they put on these things are the intentions and what's in their heart. It's not what they are. It's what they see, because that's who they are. That's the most special thing about all of this, is that this will reveal to you who somebody is. As soon as they stand in front of it, all you got to do is ask them what they see. If all they see is demons, fallen angels, dragons, and monsters, and worship of deities, that's everything that they do. You get what I'm saying? So it's very sad, you know, I feel bad for him, because it seems like he's stuck in something miserable. And I wish that there was something I could do to help him through that. But, you know, everybody can't be reached. You got to come to these things on your own. You got to be mature enough to be able to heal yourself before you can even start to begin to think that you could heal others. How can you heal others if all you do is project your own insecurities and your own animosity onto other people that come involved with you? You get what I'm saying? Bro, why do you think he's got people doing things like making offerings? Because that's what he feels he has to do in order to be forgiven for the things that he does. You can tell you can tell the spirit of somebody by the things that they think are necessary in order for them to appease. Why would you have to give something to the Creator that provided everything for you? That's wasteful. You have to offer offerings in order for you to be accepted. That means that you're not doing something right, because why would you need to be accepted by an offering rather than just offering your good intentions, your will, and your love to the people? That would be enough. That's how you honor the Creator, by loving all the Creator's creations and being able to be a part of all of the Creator's creations. You don't have to make an offering. You know how many people can't afford to make an offering? Do you know how many people he has feeling horrible because they can't make an offering? You were given everything that you need. You have an arm, leg, arm, and a head. What more could you possibly ask for? The only thing that you should offer is peace.
That's your offering, is acceptance and respecting and appreciating the things that you were given. Be the best version of you that you can be. Learn to forgive. You got to learn to forgive people, because if not, you're always going to be stuck. Right. Look, if you can't forgive them, you can't forgive you. They're connected to you. All right, that's what creates your thoughts. You got to think about that. People that have a problem forgiving others for their mistakes haven't forgiven themselves. That's why they have to make offerings, because they have to pay for it. They're paying for their mistakes in a way that makes them feel like it was justified in their actions, because now they're being forgiven in their mind, but they're not. That's why they have to keep making offerings. These are the practices of the lost. You can't speak unity in the midst of somebody stuck in destruction. It's never gonna mesh. They're always going to be looking for the destruction of it. People that learn from the Emerald Tablets, that fake ass fucking hoax, motherfuckers that teach you about duality, always gonna be stuck in negativity. You have to grow past these things, because duality teaches you that every good act has a bad act reflecting it, which means that you're always going to be looking for and creating bad things in your future. You can't avoid it. You're going, because whatever's in your heart is what your mind seeks to fulfill. And so it's going to be looking for proof of all the things that you want validated. You get what I'm saying to you? So, learn to forgive yourself. It's okay. It's okay. Like, a lot of people hold resentment towards others because other people came into their lives and did things to them. But in the baseline of that, they wouldn't have been able to if you had paid attention to them. So the thing that you can't forgive is yourself when it comes to the things that you're burdened by. It's your actions or lack of action in the midst of things that leads you to not being able to forgive somebody else. So if you can't forgive them for what they did, you're never going to forgive them. You can't forgive yourself for giving them the ability to do it to you. So you're going to carry that around with you. Learn to let go. It's okay. Learn to let go. You don't have to carry that with you. You can pour that out at any time. You can release it whenever you're ready. Hey, peace. Peace, Cassie. Welcome back. So, I love you guys. We're going to get shit together. Don't be worried about it. I know the world seems like it's in chaos right now, but that's only because they're already on their last leg. You get me? They're already on their last leg. They're scrambling and doing crazy shit because they've already lost. They already know that they're on their way out. Right? That darkness always removes itself. So don't be worried about how things look externally. Internally, you should know that everything that you see that they've got you distracted by is just a fucking distraction for the last hurrah. They're already done. That's why you've seen more and more and more and more come out. They're running out of tricks. Okay? So be happy. We're in a time of change. There has to be destruction of the things that have been holding everybody back in order for it to be out of the way. So realize that all you're seeing is all the fucked up things coming to light in order for them to be finished. There's going to be some fucked up things that happen, but each one is closer to the end of it. It's a desperate attempt. You get what I'm saying to you? So I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for sitting with me while I broke this down. And I'll be back later. We'll go check out some of the other ones that I just found. I just found a couple new ones. Okay, and we'll get to breaking those down next. I've already got the blank page prepared. Insert a photo. See, I already got a couple different ones. Some of them are super complex and some of them are very simple. Right? These are the new ones that I just found in the last couple of days. These are ones that I haven't ever seen before, so we're gonna break them down. Like that one, that's one of the ones that I just found. Like I just dove into that one for the first time yesterday on a live, but I didn't like how the Facebook live came out, so I wanted to redo it here on TikTok, where I can actually download the live and upload it onto my YouTube channel and shit, so that I have record of it. But we're gonna get into some very complex ones. Look at this one. Check this out. Look at this little gem that I found. Look at that. There's so much in there. It's all the same messages. But man, this one's serious. Look at all the flow. Look at everything is in. Like, this one is jam-packed. It's the same stuff, but this one actually is creating a process, right? You have your left and your right brain, right? You have the brain stems. You have it coming down to the guts. Right down here is where the reproductive organs are, right? So it's a whole lot going on here. I believe that this is your Christ process right here, right? But they didn't want to give you the full image. They like to give you sections of it. You get me? So this one's gonna take a good amount of time to break this one down. It's probably gonna take like a couple of hours, like maybe like four or 5 hours to get all the details out of it. But man, I can't wait. So we'll be back. Oh, I don't keep time like that. I can't tell you when I'm coming back, but I'll be back. I might come back today. It might be later on this evening or something. You never know. I don't conform to time frames and stuff like that. It feels like slavery. Okay, so we'll get into this one next. I think this will be a good one for us to get into. All right. Because if you notice, the spirit is the foundation. I'll give you that clue right there. The spirit of it is this foundation that you see right here. Now, it's a lot. We'll have to get into it, but I'm already up to like 2 hours on this live, so I gotta end this so I can actually download it in a reasonable amount of time. Okay. I will catch y'all later. Peace and light.